Hi darlings, welcome back to our channel. So I figured there's no better way than to celebrate the first day of fall than diving into the spiritual world, because you can't have fall without thinking of Halloween and all things paranormal. You guys may or may not know that I created a 5-part series on my channel which is called my Real Haunted House series, which is based around my parents' real haunted house that we all lived in and the real life accounts from all the people that witnessed and had experiences there. Now, this wasn't your ordinary haunted house with just a ghost that somebody saw with like knocks that you hear or sounds or doors slamming. This was something that was a lot more darker and malevolent. Maybe I shouldn't do this video. Like I was saying, there's a lot of information that I left out of the finale, and the reason why I didn't share every single bit of information was because I thought it was too dark, and there was already a lot of stuff happening to me during the time that I was completing the haunted house finale. But I feel like I'm in a better place now in my mental state and in my spiritual state, so I feel a lot more comfortable sharing with you today what I did not share within my haunted house finale. So we're gonna really dive deep, and I feel like this is going to be it. This gets pretty heavy, what I'm going to share with you. Before we do that, I'm going to answer some of the top questions. So this first question has to do more with the production of the series. Maria says, I understand everything, but I don't understand why the video is edited so creepy on such an important and serious topic. So my parents' house has been haunted. This started in 2006, well before I even did YouTube. So within that time frame of 2006 and then moving out until the time that I started YouTube, I really became interested in documentaries, and I took cinematics and editing very, very seriously. So it just kind of coincided the fact that I already had an interest and skill in video editing and capturing an emotion and to create like an amplified experience and combining that with my family's real stories. It just so happened to work out. Hayton720 asked, I'm curious, your sister said she's seen a man with blood on his face. I wonder it was actually an Indian with red paint on his face. I mean, that's a pretty fair theory, to be honest with you. You just never know. So it was strange because the children would see like a human form, but our parents and the adults would see this dark shadow figure moving around and about the house. Okay, so somebody asked, so your dad passed away. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to figure out the information that you shared. I hope the house and him weren't linked, and that's why the people now living there don't have anything going on. This is crazy. This actually brings me to like one of the points that I did not want to share within the finale video. It's interesting that you came to that conclusion because the timing is very, very strange based on the research. Like I mentioned in the video, some of those dark shadow figures are known to want to draw a human soul and to create despair and darkness and bring sometimes like death upon a family. And it wasn't too long after they moved out that my dad was like diagnosed, and who knows, and I don't know if it was a dark entity that was bringing this kind of bad luck to my family, but it's like ever since they moved there, my parents became just like two monsters, literally. They behaved in such inhumane ways. They fought like in such a vicious, like evil way that was never seen before by any of our family until they moved there. They lost their house. My dad lost his job. So this is the thing here that I was struggling with the series is like, I want to say that the timing was there to point to such a conclusion. However, I don't want to give all the power to a potential darkness and say that that's exactly what happened, because that's just like believing in like negativity. But that's pretty much like all I can really say. No one will ever know for sure. So I'm actually reading someone's comment that quoted me in my research that I found. The entities and demonic spirits leave and stop after a tragedy, possibly that they caused. That's why maybe the other family isn't going through the same thing. So she's talking about the family that moved in after my parents moved out. And yeah, I honestly feel that if there was a dark entity there, that it definitely was feeding off of the negativity that was happening in there. I can try to explain that they fought a lot, but then that just sounds like, you know, fights that you see amongst a couple in like a movie or something, but the way they fought, like you would have to be there to understand the amount and the methods in which they fought. You can feel it in the air. If there was something there, then definitely. So who knows if that played a factor? I just know that everything that was happening in that house could have been nourishment for something something bad. A lot of you guys are asking about like the current owner, the people that live there. So when I went to the house, as you can imagine, I was extremely nervous. It's like 300 plus miles away from my home, and I had flown there to get this interview. So when I first went to the new owner's house, I definitely thought that either they're gonna do one of two things. Either they were going to kick me off their property and tell me to get the hell out of there because I scared them, or they were going to tell me that yes, stuff was happening. Never did I think that I would like run into this young girl who said that there's nothing happening there. That I was extremely surprised about. I'm very, very, very surprised. Like if that girl was telling the truth, who knows? Maybe some people just aren't in tune with like things that are happening. Maybe it just stopped. Maybe their culture doesn't acknowledge stuff like that. Who knows what it was? I just can't see how so much stuff could happen on one property and then just stop with the next family. Next question is, did you ever see anything yourself? Dark figures, shadows? I personally did not, thank goodness. Chris is the only one that experienced it. If he had woke me up the night that he was attacked by the shadow figure, or at least like when it came at him at full speed, I would have had a chance to see it, but I was in the same room as it apparently, because when Chris got up in the middle of the night and then saw the shadow figure standing at the end of the bed that Lex and I were sleeping in, Lex, Chris, and I would have seen it. But it's a good thing that I didn't, because if I did, I probably would have never visited my parents ever again. Next question is, have I ever gotten sleep paralysis? Thankfully, not. Knock on wood. So someone asked, what was your scariest experience in that house or in general? For me, I'd say that the most scariest experience was the feeling that you got like there were eyes watching you. But one of the most scariest experiences that we ever had was during Thanksgiving, when my aunt went into the bathroom and she came back out and she told us that she had wiped her hands with a towel and left it on the sink, and then it was like hanging back up on the rack again for some reason. And then when she went back in there, the whole entire bathroom was just completely disheveled. Shower curtains were like ripped down, the towels were like spread all over the floor, so it's like something had went in there and just disheveled everything. And that was probably one of the most scariest things, besides the part where we thought somebody was inside of my parents' guest house because we saw something moving in there, and then we went in there and then there was nobody there. There's definitely no comparing it to the vibe that you got in there, that the heavy physical feeling to where it feels like you can't physically. Do I think my parents' house is still haunted? I mean, if they're saying that it's not, then maybe not. Maybe it's just inactive. Maybe it went away when my parents left. Maybe it followed my parents and is just kind of calmed down. Did you ever hear any talking, whispering, or strange sounds in the house? Do you think that there are multiple ghosts or demons as well? I never heard any talking. However, I wish that we were well versed in capturing paranormal evidence, and I think that's partly why I wanted to visit my old house and talk to the current owners, is because if there was something happening there, I would have loved to get some answers and bring in a whole paranormal team to investigate. Also, somebody asked me, do you think that your Ouija board experience, which I made a story time about, you guys can find on my channel, do you think that that had anything to do with your parents' house being haunted? My answer is no. If I released anything, then it would have been at Chris's parents' house, which is where I was living at that time. So I have one more little thing to share with you guys. My mom ended up sending me her old YouTube channel that she found that she used to post home videos on from back in the day in 2011 when my parents still lived in the Woodland haunted house. So she sent me the actual footage from the Thanksgiving night that I told you that scared my aunt, that same night that we had somebody knock on the door and nobody was there, and the same night where my parents' entire downstairs bathroom was completely torn apart. I'm gonna play a little clip right here.
What the heck is that? What the heck is that? Oh my God. What?
So this video is actually very, very long because my parents would actually just put the camera on the tripod and just let it run its course. We wouldn't even know or pay attention to the fact that there was a camera. I have like hours of footage to go through. So comment down below if you guys want me to browse through that footage, try to find those moments, and create an updated video for you guys so I can show you what happened. That would be crazy if those moments were caught on camera. And who knows what else we can find on there. Like I said, my mom, at all these birthdays, birthdays, holidays, she used to just literally sit the camera on a tripod and just let it run. Hopefully we can catch something on there. Alrighty darlings, thank you so much for watching. Happy first day of fall. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and like the video and comment down below so that I get a good gauge and idea of the kind of videos that you like, because I want to make videos that you guys really enjoy. If you haven't already joined our Dia More Darling family, go ahead and do so by hitting the subscribe button down below and hit the notification button as well. And don't forget to follow us on social media. We'll have all of our links right here and listed down below as well. As always, we love you darlings very much, and we will talk to you later. Love you darlings. Happy fall. Mwah.